my name is Raye, and I am so excited to be here for another Book Fest adventure. Today, I want to talk about how do you greenlight your genius? We all have it, we all want to do it, but what does it take to turn that big, bodacious, audacious dream into a reality? So, today, I'm going to talk about how you can translate your genius, your creative genius, your passion, your purpose into something that is amazing. And you know why I know? Because I have been gifted with the journey of a lifetime. And I want to share that if I can do it, anybody can do it. It is not an impossibility, it is a probability, and it's a certainty. So let's get into it. I got 4 points, maybe 5 if they give me enough time. So as an actor, you sort of got to figure out how much time you have. So if I go a little fast, that's okay. We'll get to the point. So let's jump into it. Greenlighting your genius. What does that mean? Well, the first idea is the green light. The green light means go, get to it, make it happen. You take it from the outside to the inside, from the possibility to the reality. So today we're talking about greenlighting that which is inside of everyone who decides they want to go for it. And by genius, I don't mean that it's necessarily the intellectual genius, although everybody has intellectual genius. I mean, it's the creative genius, it's the passion, it's the purpose, it's the ability to turn those mistakes, those downturns, those setbacks, those disappointments into a ferocious story that everybody can relate to. Why? Because there is not a human being who is honest with themselves that they have not had a setback. And if you want to know the truth about genius and creativity is the product of turning a setback into a turnaround. Think about a movie, because I do movies, that didn't make it on the big theater, but because of streaming and other outlets, they have a new life. So the end is never the end. So that's my first big point. Everybody has a creative genius in their soul, in their spirit, and it's up to them to decide if they want to grab hold of that and ride that baby to their satisfaction. It could be big, it could be small, because nobody judges your genius. Everybody has it, and you are the captain of your genius journey. So that's the first point. The second point is, let's think about this. Turning around those transitions, those things that didn't work, that story that you thought didn't sell. If you're an author, you've written many, many, many books, or maybe this is your first, but all it takes is that first to be successful. And you're not as good as your last project. You're as great as your next project. So life is in those transitions. And trust me, do I have stories of transition? And they became my intellectual property vault. They became my tool to go to market, whether it's an actor or a producer or a writer, and turn all these narratives into relatable stories. Because once again, everybody can greenlight their genius. All they have to do is get up and do it. You need some discipline, you need some training, but you also just have to have the unending drive to do it. So the third point, as my pastor will say at church, just a few more points and I'll be over, is life is a series of exciting moments. Seriously. Everything is a story. Everything is a journey, whether you have been at the bottom of your life's journey or you're at the peak. There is this wonderfulness of riding this emotional curve. And in fact, the most successful stories, whether they're in book form, movies, streaming, TV, you name it, social media influencers, it's a story that people can relate to. And I go back to one of my first points. We all can relate to having a turnaround. It's that moment where somebody puts you down, puts you out, leaves you out, or just doesn't see your brilliance. You have a choice. You can fall down, stay down, and the story's over. Or you can have that dramatic rise and comeback where you're the hero and you're like, oh no, wait, there's scene 3. It's not over yet. So think of your life in like the structure of a story. You have a series of exciting moments. Capture them. Walk around with a journal. Walk around with a video message to yourself. Your genius is pinging every single day. I can't keep up with the amount of exciting stories that come my way on a daily basis. Why? Because I'm open to seeing the world through a lens of creativity. No matter how negative, it is a moment that you can thrive on. And I want to make a side point. I'm a big proponent of mental health, self-care, and self-awareness. Sometimes celebrating and unleashing your genius is a part of your mental health and your therapy and your recovery and your self-empowerment. It isn't always about the economic outcome. Sometimes something happened. I've worked with survivors of sexual harassment, sexual assault. I've worked with a lot of people, and just writing their story and being heard was a way for them to greenlight their genius towards recovery. So don't think about this as a conversation about a monetary return. Think about it a return about self and your dignity and your self-worth. Greenlight that. You don't have to wait for someone else to give you permission to be great. Just say it. I'm great. And then do it. Because greenlighting your genius isn't sitting in a beautiful room and saying, yep, I'm a genius. You've got to have discipline. You have to invest your time and your energy in curiosity. And how do you nurture that? There are plenty of platforms, but you've got to get connected to the best. The Book Fest exists because it's the best. You get information that is reliable, consistent, persistent, and it makes you go, I believe that the Book Fest is one of the greatest places to ignite your creative genius. I wouldn't be here if I didn't believe it. I can be a lot of places, as can you, but this is a place to greenlight that it's right there. And now you want it to be right there and then right out there. You can be wherever you want to be with your genius. There's no jealousy, there's no measure, and there's nobody to say yay or nay. That's the beauty of greenlighting your own genius. And then I want to go into a part that is really fun. So you do all this, you prepare, you believe in yourself, you take those downs, you take those ups, and you roll them all together into like, remember those giant rubber band balls we used to make way back in the day when we had rubber bands? Yeah, I know. Okay, I'm aging myself, whatever. But eventually you get to this giant sticky ball and they just go boom. That's your creative genius unleashed. So if I have nothing else to say, and I'm going to end my little talk today with 2 words. Go boom and have fun.